Hello. We're going to do a very basic Bible with the same person as always, that being me. That's me. Yeah. All right. Here's my church I go to and I work at. My janitor, Bethany. It says United Methodist Church. Yeah. All right, here we go, guys. I'm gonna look up a special verse. So I'm a facilities specialist at my church. I'm not a janitor. No, no, no. I'm not a janitor. Janitors. That's demeaning. Those are dirty people that just clean. Nobody cares about them. They're low on the rung. They don't even count. I'm a facility specialist. What? Of course I count. I'm a janitor. I love it, man. I'm awesome. If they didn't have janitors, they didn't have janitors. That place would be filthy, and they would hate it. People don't understand how valuable janitors are. I I work as a janitor and I still have to tell myself, no, wait, you are valuable. What if all janitors went on strikes? When you went to Walmart, it'd just be disgusting. You'd never be able to go shopping. You'd be, oh, gross. It would just, y'all would hate it. All right, guys, here we go. Ezekiel. So at my church, we get on the computer, hop on the computer, check the schedule for the workday, check Facebook, right? Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I just look at the internet, like I'm on break or something. But there's the facilities login. So you put in your name, BUMC facilities, then you put in the password. What's the password? It's Ezekiel 4414. So you type in capital E, Ezekiel 44:14, no spaces. So that's it. So hey, if you want to break into Beth, my church would just come to my church and you can like get into the yeah, the password and everything. All right, here we go. Ezekiel 44:14. Remember, I'm a janitor. BUMC facilities and other, i.e., BUMC janitorial. We do more stuff. We sometimes you unclog toilets, you change light bulbs, simple maintenance stuff. Sometimes we pick up limbs or clean the gutters outside, blow leaves, simple yard stuff. Put up and take down chairs and tables. I wish I could get volunteers to do all this. I mean, that could be a church deacon and do this. All right, 44:14. And I will appoint them to guard the temple for all the work that is to be done in it. Okay. I will appoint them to guard the temple. Is that it then? 44:14? 40. I thought it was something else. Let's just here. Where's the good old NASB? Here we go. Nevertheless, I will appoint them to take responsibility for the house of all its service and of everything that shall be done in it. So this is the temple of God. So look up here. This is what the Lord God says: no foreigner, uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh, of all the foreigners who are among the sons of Israel, shall enter my sanctuary. But the Levites who went far from me, when Israel went astray, who went astray from me, following their idols, shall suffer the punishment for their wrongdoing. Yikes. Yeah, they shall be ministers in my sanctuary, having oversight at the gates of the house. In other words, the temple. The house, the gates of the house, ministering in the house, the temple, like the physical building, like we are the temple of God, right now. But whenever the Jews had a physical temple, okay, the temple, they shall slaughter the burnt offering and sacrifice for the people. They shall stand before them to minister to them. Since they minister to them before their idols and became a stumbling block. Okay. Since they ministered them before they started following idols and before they became a stumbling block of wrongdoing to the house of Israel. Okay. So the Levites ministered to Israel. That's the them. The Levites ministered to Israel before the Levites started following idols. And before the Levites became a stumbling block of wrongdoing to the house of Israel. So before the Levites became a stumbling block to Israel via idol worship, the Levites ministered to Israel. So the Levites were worshiping idols. The Levites were stumbling block to Israel, stumbling block. They caused Israel to trip. They caused Israel to fall. The Levites taught Israel idol worship. The Levites were an example. People followed them and started worshiping idols. The Levites were leading people astray. But before that, the Levites ministered to them, ministered good. 1 second. Drink of water. Minister to my soul, my bowels, my belly. For that reason I have sworn against them, declares the Lord, that they shall suffer the punishment for their wrongdoing. The Levites are going to suffer the punishment because before worshiping idols and stuff, they were ministers. Like, wait. They're going to punish wrongdoing because before leading people astray, they were ministers. Like, I'm going to punish the teacher because before the teacher taught them incorrect things, the teacher taught them good things. Here's what it is, I believe. There's a verse in James that says teachers shall be dealt more strict judgment. There's verses that say with knowledge comes responsibility. There's verses that saying that God to whom much is given, much will be demanded. Jesus talks about a parable and says the slave who knew a lot will be punished with many blows. The slave who knew a lot and did something wrong, punished with many blows. But the slave who was unaware and did something bad, less blows. In other words, you're more responsible for what you know. Paul said, why the Israelites, do they have any responsibility? Sure, they have the oracles of God. The Jews have the oracles of God. They have the Old Testament, but that makes them more responsible, you know? So the Levites, why is God going to hold them to their punishment? Not just because, where's that? They shall suffer the punishment for their wrongdoing. They're not just going to suffer punishment for their wrongdoing because they happen to lead people astray, but they're going to suffer a punishment because they should have known better. They were ministering to the people, then they led them astray. I mean, these are if I'm like, hey, I'm going to teach my kids something and I teach them something wrong, it's like, oof, well, I'm not a math major. I was trying to help my kid. Maybe I should have gone to the math teacher. But what if I'd went to and gotten a degree in mathematics? What if I got a degree in teaching children? Then I led my kids astray. It's like you got a little more responsibility there. So is Ezekiel trying to say all that here? The people probably just understood it when he said it. They understood, oh, they were ministers and then they led, oh man, that's no good. Bad guys leading the people astray, that's understandable. Ministers of God leading people astray, oh, this is a pretty common theme throughout the Bible. To whom much is given, much will be demanded, or something like that. All right, and they shall not, okay, and they, the Levites, I believe still. I believe that they is the Levites. They shall not approach me to serve as priests for me, nor approach any of my holy things to the things that are most holy, but they will bear their name and their abominations which they have committed. They're not going to come near me. They're not going to approach the holy things. They're going to bear their shame. I said name. They're going to bear their shame. Everybody's going to see it. Like if I did something bad, I've heard of judges that command people. Somebody robs like a liquor store, and the judge is like, "You robbed a liquor store. This is your third offense. This is embarrassing. I don't want to give you a huge fine, and I don't want to put you in jail because you're just a petty. You're just doing dumb stuff. Here's what we're gonna do. The judge would make the person stand outside the liquor board wearing a sandwich board, the liquor store, wearing a sandwich board that says, "I'm a thief who steals from liquor stores." You ever seen that? I saw a guy standing outside of Walmart said, "I have stolen from this Walmart like 5 times," or something like that. And he had to stand out there. It's shameful, right? That was what the judge sentenced. The guy that was standing outside the Walmart, he had hats and sunglasses like this, and he was standing like this. Up against the wall, he was leaning with his face down, and he just had a sandwich board on. He was bearing, isn't it right? The Levites are gonna have to bear their shame. Um, I okay, they're gonna have to bear their shame, which they've committed. But look at this. Nevertheless, I will appoint them to take responsibility for the house of all his service and everything that shall be done in it. This happened whenever I was reading the book of Jeremiah. God was like, "I'm through with them. I'm finished with them. But if they return to me, I will love them. Get them out of my sight. Get them out of here. Don't even pray for them. When they return, I will do good to them." It's like, wait, God, are you schizophrenic? Oh my gosh, like which one is it? It's um ancient Middle Easterners tended to exaggerate. God speaks to people in ways they can understand. God's gonna exaggerate. I'm not, God's gonna say it's very black and white. You're not doing this, but I'm gonna make sure you do this. Like to us, we're like, what in the world? But you just said to them that makes sense. It's saying it in black and white shows the seriousness of it, not necessarily the logic. Like this is white, this is black. To us, that would mean we look at it as white. We look at it as black. To them, that's just showing how serious it is. This really is a serious thing. The white and black. I mean, kind of the same, kind of not. You know. Okay, but the Levitical. Let's read one more verse. But the Levitical priests, the sons of Zadok, which I've heard that that's where the Sadducees come from. Saduczadok, Zadok. I learned that from a smart person. A few smart people, actually, too. Okay, but the Levitical priests. So, but that's who we were talking about. Levitical priests, I thought. The sons of Zadok, who took responsibility for my sanctuary when the sons of Israel went astray from me, shall come near to me to serve me. Oh, but the ones, okay. Nevertheless, I will appoint them to take responsibility for the house. Okay, so they are going to take responsibility. But what about the ones that never went astray? My who took responsibility when the sons of Israel went astray. So the ones when Israel went astray, there were Levites that were like, no, wait, we gotta keep doing the right thing. Or maybe, we did the wrong thing. Let's go back to doing the right thing. Not every single Levite, obviously, to a man, did the wrong thing. Levitical priests, the good ones, shall come near me to serve me. Up here, it says to take responsibility for the house. Here, shall come near me to serve me. They shall stand before me to offer me the fat and the blood. They shall enter my sanctuary. They shall come near to my table and serve me. Okay, I think I'm getting it. Look at, and it shall be that when they enter at the gate of the inner courtyard, they shall be clothed with linen garments. I think I'm getting it. The Levites that went astray, they caused all this trouble. The ones that were worshiping idols and led Israel astray. Okay, they're going to come back and minister, but they're just going to take care of the house. They're just going to, they're going to sweep, they're going to clean the utensils and stuff. But you guys, they're going to make sure, say the door, they're going to be a janitor. Be a janitor. That's all. I'm just a janitor. But the ones who didn't go astray, they are going to go to the altar and offer sacrifices. They are going to go into the Holy of Holies and offer the showbread and such. So the Levites that went astray, well, maybe they'll wipe the altar off. The Holy of Holies needs to be repaired. There's some of this. They'll kind of repair some of the stuff in there. But who's going to offer the sacrifice? Who's going to burn the incense to God? The ones that didn't go astray. Okay, I could see it. Yeah, yeah. All right. Good thing in the new covenant, we're all the temple of God, and we don't have all these rules. Was it good for them? Obviously, God made it this way for them. I'm glad that Better. Okay, before we end, I gotta hurry because I wanted this one. I wanted these to be a little shorter. Doorkeeper. Yeah, this JB Phillips. No, easy to read. Let's just go to. Okay, let's go home. Don't worry, we'll find it. I promise. Easy to read. We're gonna go to the NIV because I read a long time out of the NIV, so I'm okay. Doorkeeper. Oops. Right there. Yep. Better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. Your courts, God. Better is one day in your courts. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in the tents of the wicked. Yeah, definitely. The people in Revelation, the saints in heaven, God is like, here's a crown for y'all's goodness. Yeah, like y'all have overcome with the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. You're martyrs. Here you are. And he gives them crowns. And they're like, yay. And it says they surround the sea and they cast their crowns down. Their God gives them something, they give it back to God. That's yeah, I like that. All right, guys, we'll see y'all on the next very basic Bible.